It's Saturday night once again, and you know what that means. It's time for another Romhack race. It's good to see everybody. Get some hype in chat, make some noise. How's your Saturday going? We've got an excellent level tonight from Romhack Race. You've seen their name around. They've raced, they've played well, and now they've got a level for us. JankPickle, maker of fine Lego structures, keeper of fine cats, has made Sleeptalk here for week 195. This is going to be a fun one. I tested this myself. It's going to be a good time. Length of longest section, 5 out of 10. Hardest trick to figure out tonight, 4 out of 10. Hardest trick to execute, 4 out of 10. So a good ride, kind of chill. We'll see how it goes. Now these 4 out of 10s really can wind up being fast, rapid fire. And there are a lot of folks who are working on their sight reads right now. Third wall in the lower left, representing the RNG Dolphins. You Fail Me in the lower right to start us out. Germdove in the upper left, Revelug in the upper right. We have 19 who signed up tonight. Brave individuals. These races are open to the public for anybody that wants to. You can sign up on romhackraces.com. And to keep track of everybody, we've got scouts. Thank you so much. Darkenine, Kelgand, Cherry V, Nom helping us scout everybody else's streams and mod the chat. The rest of the testers for this level, of course, Ampersam, Kerr, Darkenine, RB Pimlico, and me, GlitchCat7. Big shout-outs, of course, to Dr. No on the restream, and D to the Fourth doing wonderful work with the website, helping us out with the leaderboard, and just generally being an enchantress of ASM. You've heard of Enchantress of Numbers? There's another one. Another one in town. I hope you're all ready for a good race. As you know, of course, this is Romhack Races. We do these every Saturday night, and you can watch them right here. You can check out romhackraces.com for a little bit more information if you want to play this level or check out any of the other levels that we've done throughout our illustrious career. Don't forget about that shop.romhackraces.com. I don't want to hit you with the plug right away, but if you're looking for some merch for the upcoming GDQ race, you can get it right there. All orders before the 1st will be donated to Doctors Without Borders for the GDQ marathon. And you know, this is if you've already heard this, don't listen, plug your ears and go la 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 la. But if you've never been here, coming in off the street, you maybe don't know what's up. This is Romhack Races. We do this every Saturday night with a freshly made artisanal Super Mario World Kaizo level. The maker obviously knows what they made. The testers tested it, but the racers have no idea. They just have the difficulty ratings that they saw. So they're just going to have to sight read, improvise, and just use their knowledge and wits to get through something they've never ever seen before. And that is also going to be the format for the upcoming GDQ race that you're going to hear quite a bit about. But for tonight, it's all about Sleeptalk. It's all about JankPickle's level. And it's all about these racers, and as you've heard, it's all about consistency and one-shots. That is the dynamic going on in a lot of these races, and especially true for something with a little bit less difficulty. A one-shot on an obstacle is either going to lock in progress or get the racer's knowledge that puts them ahead. If they can't get those one-shots, consistency to get back to the part that they need to get back to in order to learn what they got to learn. And be the first one across the finish line. But, you know, it's Romhack Races, but we're here for everybody. So put your favorite racers emotes in chat. Let's celebrate all the cool things they do. It's the players versus the levels. We're here to have a fun time and sort of talk about everybody's moves. And if you're ready, I'm ready. I'll bring you the play-by-play. I'm Glitch. I probably mentioned that. And we'll be off pretty soon. Hope you're ready for a good one. Alrighty. The level is Sleeptalk. The maker is JankPickle. The racers are Germdove, Revelug, Third Wall. You Fail Me right now on screen. But remember, there are others. There are 19. That's what the scouts are for. They're going to let us know if someone takes a lead so that we can rotate folks in. Hopefully you'll get to see everybody's clears. Now, what is this? What are we going to be doing here? Oh, I love this. This is a neat gimmick that I think the racers will immediately understand, or at least kind of figure out, I have to do this. We are going to be learning about, and it's a funny sentence to say, we're going to be learning about Mario's butt today. Believe it or not, Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, decided that Mario's butt is kind of the most powerful thing in the universe. Maybe that's why the enemies die when he stomps on them, and you can do all sorts of weird things with it. First thing, of course, you can kill enemies with it, because of course you can. By butt sliding into an enemy, you can destroy it. And that's what we're starting out with here. You got that regrab off the blue Koopa, sliding down the slope, and then those piranha plants will kill you if you don't, if you're not in butt sliding state. You're gonna hear butt state quite a bit. It's not a college, but maybe it is. But butt state is preserved once you slide off the slope. As long as you don't press left or right in the air and you remain neutral on the D-pad, you'll just be sitting on your butt in the air. And you can do really cool stuff with that. We're going to get to find out a little bit about it. This is a tough one on the execution here at the start. Looks like third wall in the lower left. Definitely getting the hang of it. First thing to regrab off this Koopa, then you got to open the gate and get up to the second platform. And that's what these bullets are helping out with. Revolug 2 in the upper right. Yeah, making some moves. They get... slide off the slope, bump the shell off the block. Third wall in the lower left, third wall making moves. All right, now that's progress. Looks like third wall's in the best position, making it across that shell jump. So get the shell out of the block, and then this is a trick that we've seen. I first saw it in Storks. By dropping an object and then sliding, you can like catch it and jump out of the slide, because all you have to do to catch an object is be holding Y or X, if you roll that way, when you grab it, so you don't actually have to break butt state by pressing left or right. It's hard to say butt state with a straight face. Help me out, please put your lols in chat so we can all laugh about butt state. It's funny. I'm not, it's funny. It's funny. Germ Dove, yo, upper right, getting to that shell jump. So that's the hang-up for everybody right now. Looks like Revolug's got the hang of it, and third wall in the lower left getting a read here. Ooh, nice job, nice job. So remember, if you press left or right at any point while you have butt state, you will no longer do that, because what you technically have is slope speed. Slope speed being faster than regular speed. Here goes Revolug in the upper right. Big reads. Revolug, hold up. Thinking about it, Revolug's got an idea. Let's see. But yeah, sorry, broke my train of thought there. Here goes third wall for that same obstacle in the lower left. They didn't get that much farther, but learned a little bit. But yeah, as long as you preserve your slope speed, you're going a little bit faster than you normally would. Here goes B2DE in the upper left. Keep your eyes on the upper left-hand corner. B2, no! Oh, sorry, don't mean to shout at you, but that one hurts. We are definitely getting the hang of this. Racer's getting real deep now, and now it's going to come down to consistency. B2 has all the knowledge they need, but they just need to get back there. So, is B2 going to be able to be consistent, or is someone else going to be able to sight read that final obstacle where they unfortunately dropped the ball? That's the dynamic we see going on. Anybody could have it. Revolug, third wall, you fail me in the lower right. This is a tricky kind of thing because since you can't press left or right, you have to have really good control over the height of your jump. And by holding jump while you're contacting an enemy, you'll get a bigger boost, and then you can let go to kind of cut the height of your jump. Look out, though. Oh, snap. It's Quiet Mason. Yo, last week's level maker could be this week's winner. Quiet Mason on the checkpoint already, so I'm not sure if that was their first read there or not, but they are currently in the lead. Now, this gray shell should be something that a lot of players should know by now. It's kind of a standard for the base ROM. Here goes B2 for the checkpoint. They pressed left or right. But the gray shell is a double bounce, and it will not stop moving until you've bounced on it 2 times. Technically, it's a Paracupa shell. Third wall. Oh, for the checkpoint. Man, those double munchers. But so you'll get 2 bounces, and Quiet Mason making use of both of those bounces from the gray shell. Normally, shells will stop once after being hit when they're moving, but technically the gray shell is a green Paracupa shell, and so first you're technically knocking the wings off the Paracupa. Yo, there's that consistency. Third wall in the lower left, making it to the checkpoint. I think that's the second one. Second checkpoint. Yo, third wall, showing what the RNG Dolphins are bringing to the table for the race. That's a good read. But Quiet Mason now here with a little bit more knowledge in B2. There it is. B2's up on the checkpoint. Yep. So I didn't see them grab that one. I was watching Quiet Mason because they are out in the lead right now. Got some on-off switches to open the gate. This is Third Wall's chance to make some progress, or B2, or anybody else that could clutch it out right now, because Quiet Mason doesn't have that much more knowledge, right? They're just a jump or two farther, and so B2 and Third Wall are about to try to even the score here a little bit. You gotta study hard at Butt State if you want to graduate. So yeah, some note block jumps here. A little bit of bouncing around. And the reason to have note blocks is, like I said, you cannot press left or right. So how do you change your direction? Well, you get bounced by something. And in this case, we're using the bounce in any direction note block, and I think a little custom special block over there to kind of bounce you extra high. JankPickle had spent a lot of time on this setup, and we really appreciate that because I think it came together really well. Just got to figure out how to articulate the jumps. I don't know, maybe that's a fancy way of putting it, but my guitar teacher always used to say that you have to articulate your fingers, articulate the notes, say them clearly, distinctly, unique New York. You got to pronounce things. And that's kind of the way that jumps in tricky situations like this can work, especially when you can't compensate for your position with a left or a right? You just have to go with the height of the jump. And so, having good articulation, not going too high, cutting the jump where you need to, is important. But here's something that I haven't pointed out yet. Revelug, though, in the lower right, looking for that checkpoint. Nice try. Something I haven't pointed out yet is the bat. It's kind of hanging out down there. Quiet Mason, B2, and Third Wall. Notice that when you touch the bat in butt state, it just kills the bat. Doesn't do anything. What you want to do is get a boosted jump off the bat. And butt state won't let you do that. Butt state just annihilates everything. I know, hey, Mario's butt annihilates anything it touches. This is just the law of the universe. And so, how do you fix that, right? Because if you destroy it, you don't get the bounce, you don't go up there. So right at that moment, right before they're contacting the bat, they actually want to deliberately press left or right, probably in this case right, but maybe a turn back would be in order. Deliberately pressing left or right in order to break the state and actually get the jump on the bat. It does lower your speed, but that's okay. That works in that situation. Yo, Revelug, nice grab. Yo, Revelug in the lower right. I was watching Revelug's stream earlier today. They're playing Baron of Shell. Solid streamster. Good friend. All friends, really all friends on Scream. Scream? Did I say Scream? I meant, that's a combination of stream and screen. They're on the stream and they're on your screen, so you're watching them on the television screen. Everybody on the checkpoint now. And Quiet Mason, I think, in the upper right with just a little bit more knowledge. Working on getting the right articulation for this green shell bounce. And just making sure they can do this note block bounce sequence well. It can be tricky to get the right momentum, right angle on the jump. Third Wall, hey, look out. Okay, now we could see some sparks here. Third Wall on the same section. Got to the same point that Quiet Mason did. So now the knowledge gap between the racers is, well, non-existent for those two. That's a neat maneuver. I really like that setup. JankPickle's using it well here. The bounce on all sides note blocks are kind of fun. And when you go up into that corner, all Mario has to do is bonk that note block, and it will impact the shell and launch it up into the air and feed it to you for the next setup. Here goes Quiet Mason. Ooh, nice try. Nice try. H for Nathan MG. We got 5 now. Could be a contender. H for Digital Andrew. Could be a contender. You'd like to see this. Now, don't count out, right? We got 4 people on screen. We can't fit anymore. But don't count out the ones that just got there. Even though they're fresh, and presumably these racers have more experience, that's where the one-shot could be, right? You could make up for all your lost progress and all your slowness in some other section with one clutch one-shot. And it can happen. and it can happen. Third wall, looking for some info. But yeah, now we got another one of these drop slide setups. Just like before, if I in a dive and catch the falling man, I may slide with it by dropping the shell kind of above yourself and then sliding, grabbing it like out of the air. You're sort of just scooping it up to yourself. There's lots of, I guess you could say, sort of self-pass maneuvers. Like by bonking the note block, you pass yourself a shell in the next setup. And by jumping and dropping the shell in a slide, you're like passing your forward to yourself. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. But I'm the one saying it. H for Halcyon and Muzzle. 4-8 now on the second section. We need an entirely separate stream to hold them all. So hang on to your butts here. Halcyon last week with the big win. Quiet Mason now has gotten to this section first, but you see how that progress has kind of smoothed out a little bit, right? And I think that's due in no small part to trying to figure out how to articulate the jumps through this little bounce back section. Whether, how long you hold the button, whether or not you press at a certain time can make a difference. And that receive for the shell is pretty tricky as well. Yo, I would agree. JankPickle, nice level tonight. Our maker, a good friend and true. JankPickle, good level tonight. I think this is a nice race, and as you can see, a tight race because a lot of people are having similar experiences. And I think that's what you really like to see for specifically a race level is this closeness. Who's gonna get it? Is it gonna be the consistency or the one shot or some combination? I say do not make the mistake of counting out racers who only recently got to the checkpoint because it's still anybody's game. That's the most exciting thing to me about Kaizo races like this. Yeah, I don't know if Third Wall is looking for the cheese or what. Oh, oh, they found it all right. Uh-oh. Hey, it happens. It happens. I think it's kind of cool. It's creative. It shows presence of mind on the part of the racers. Third Wall showing those big brain strats, and you'll get to see some more of that on the GDQ stage. Quiet Mason though, doing it the right way. A law-abiding player, following the rules, getting a gold star. Yeah, Third Wall, though, definitely getting into a flow here. If you watch one racer for a couple of rounds, maybe a couple of minutes, you'll start to notice their general movements tighten up a little bit. The first time they get to a section, they're landing in all kinds of different positions and kind of awkwardly bounce around. And as you go, you definitely start to see them cut their jumps more, move, land more accurately, and just kind of on the whole start to go faster. And that's a fun moment, I think, in levels to kind of have that moment of crystallization. Now, this is a good thing, too, because by finding an alternate kind of cheese strat, Third Wall may potentially get themselves more attempts per time, right? They're skipping a little bit of what's going on, and they're helping themselves stay alive a little bit better. Is that going to pay off for them, right? It takes a little bit longer, but every life will get them a better attempt, right? In theory, they can farm more tries at this later part, and here they go. This is that strat in action. Yeah, because Third Wall just gets a few more attempts per time. That's the consistency coming in. Quiet Mason, though, in the upper right, looking good, getting to that yellow shell drop, and then that's a toss forward. They're throwing that yellow shell forward and then landing on it in butt state in order to continually knock out those piranha plants that are hanging out there. Difficulty ratings on this level tonight, I got you. Length of longest section, 5 out of 10. Brain, 4 out of 10. Execution, that's a 4 out of 10. Amazing chest with the H as well, 9 on this checkpoint right now, 16 minutes in. My pleasure. It's always a fun time here at Romhack Races. Here at the Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Superdome. At the International Munchadome. Revelug, look out, Revelug in the, lower right. Oh my. That is a change in the lead. Here goes Quiet Mason trying to make this. Oof. Nice job. H for Stu, we got 10. We got 10. But the lead right now belongs to Revelug, who has managed to get through that jumping chuck obstacle that last killed our friend Third Wall. Third Wall, though, looking for it. They've got that shell jump. Third Wall in the lower left. Don't count them out. And now they're all tied up again. Revelug versus Third Wall, the bottom of your screen. That's true, too. A level like this, if you're a little bit slow, you're not going to make it, right? You bonk. But the same thing can be true if you're a little bit fast. So think of this kind of thing as not just going as fast as you can, but going as fast as you need to. Hesitation is a strat, right? Slowing down is a strat. 19 participants tonight, I'm told. Anybody's welcome to sign up, though. We could use some more racers. The scouts need to earn their merit badges. They're doing a great job. You can check out romhackraces.com. Third Wall, look out. Third Wall, oh man. That's pretty good. That is progress, and now Third Wall takes the lead. I refer to... Here, I guess I should clarify my terminology. When I say which player is in the lead, I mean which player has been farthest, but that could change right now. Here goes Revelug. Okay, and we're all tied up again. There it is. Revelug and Third Wall tied for the lead, given that their PBs, personal best, is both on exactly the same obstacle, right? Knowledge is power in a Kaizo race. You always want the one-shots. It is possible, but in order to safeguard yourself, knowledge of what is about to come up or what you're going to have to do. Third Wall, though, here, putting on that consistency. Let's go. They understand this. Third Wall with a read in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Ouch. That's big-time knowledge, though. B2DE in the upper left trying to get that as well. But, yeah, Third Wall hanging on to that lead. Almost 20 minutes in. And suddenly Cape. Hey, where'd you come from? Revelug looking for that same information. Can't get it. Remember, presumably, only Third Wall knows what happens at the end of that disco part, right? Only Third Wall has seen that, and only they know. Every other racer is going to either A, die there, or B, have to clutch it out in one shot. What's it going to be? I don't mean to get annoying going on the one-shots consistency thing. I just really like to talk about the narrative dynamic. Here goes Third Wall. Okay. Feeling it out. Here goes Revelug, lower right. But I want to talk about the narrative going on here, because it seems as though, with a sight read race, how do you tell, what the standing is and who's doing well and that? Everybody's doing well. Spoiler alert. We got great racers doing a great job here. But, I try to talk more about the narrative involved. Here goes Quiet Mason in the upper right. Oh, and we're all tied up again. Revelug. Oh, this is such a close race. It is anybody's game now. Revelug with a slight lead in knowledge. Quiet Mason sizing up the situation. Not a bad play, but it costs them time. And Third Wall, Mr. Consistent over here. You certainly can maintain butt state while floating with a cape, and Third Wall might be the one to do it. Ooh, nice try, buddy. Nice try. Nice try. Oh, this is close. Quiet Mason, upper right. Oh, this is so close. Revelug. Oh my gosh, Revelug versus Third Wall. Revelug in the lower right. Gets the cape. This could be it. Revelug, lower right. There it is. Oh, man. Nicely done. The come-from-behind victory with the really good consistency. See how Revelug just got to that last obstacle, died, 2 or 3 deaths, they were right back there. That's how consistency will win you the race. Nicely done, Revelug. Solid player. That's twitch.tv/Revelug. I had a good time on their stream. I think they're a kind individual. Let's go. Don't forget, follow the racers. That's a good free prize that anybody can give, and you're one click away from seeing some really great skills on a channel you might not have heard about yet. GG Revelug, very well done. Looking for that second place, third wall. Nathan MG in the lower right, Quiet Mason in the upper right. B2DE, everybody at the second section. And, you know, how are y'all doing tonight? Thanks for making Romhack races a little part of your Saturday. I hope you're all getting a chance to just relax, feel good. I hope nobody's feeling too hot in this heat. Third wall, lower left-hand corner. Looking for the second place because Revelug is done. Third wall, lower left. Oh, they go. That was so good, though. Oh, man, third wall. The presence of mind. You won, Revelug, the winner tonight. Good job, honestly. Good job. Nah, you did great. You did great and won. The consistency right after you died at the end and then got right back, that was the clutch moment. Really well done, Revelug. You're a kind individual. Thanks for racing with us. GG. Putting in the practice time. Making it real. I can tell you, honestly, I mean this for honestly for true. In 195 weeks of Romhack races, I have never seen someone just really embarrass themselves and play terribly. I've seen people, no offense, who maybe thought they did or had a you know, rough time. But I know it's a psychological thing. And I know that I can't just say, oh, it's fine, and everybody, you know, oh, yeah, it is fine. Okay, sure. All I had to do was just think it was fine. Like, I get it's more than that. But I just want to be reassuring because I know this stuff is tough, and I know it's easy. Here goes third wall. Oh, come on, buddy. That freaking cape. Moving oscillation. But I know it can be tough, and I know that, you know, it can be stressful to think, I'm the only one that's dying. I have that same thing, right? I mean, me, GC7 me, I have that same thing from time to time. Oh, no, I'm the only one that's struggling so much. But I have never seen just a player truly do terribly. Whatever, you know, someone thinks they did bad. Oh, no, I did the worst ever. I'm so bad. Like, nah, you didn't. You're fine. Absolutely fine. So I just want to clarify, right? Like, it's not that, like, just by saying that I can make it all okay. I know it's more than that. Here goes third wall. Looking for that second. Let's go. Third wall. Clean. Cleanly done. They knew it. They had it. Nicely done. Third wall. A clean second place. They got down to that final trick, and they had it. They were just like, they know. Third wall's a player with a lot of confidence. When I see them play, their movements are very, like, I don't know, just confident. They know they're like, I'm going to do this now. I like that. GG, third wall. We got our first place, Revelug, GG, third wall. Paradoxically in second, not third. And now we got B2, Quiet Mason, the Digital Andrew, and Nathan MG looking for that big bronze trophy. Well, it's just an imaginary trophy. But again, I don't want to make it all about the race. You know what I mean? We're here to support everybody. Everybody is doing great with this. It's the player versus the level. The race is just the fun candy coating on the outside, you know. Just the fun little shiny package we wrap up the broadcast in. Should have held back for that third place. But no, Revelug, GG. You're kind, good person. I like your stream. Quiet Mason. Oh, what do we got? What do you got, buddy? Oh, no. So while it might be true that slope speed is the fastest of the speeds, that you could travel horizontally in Mario World, you still have to gather an amount of momentum. So just simply being on a slope and tapping down might not immediately guarantee slope speed if the slope is not sheer enough. And in that case, you will need to gather some momentum. That is why Quiet Mason didn't make it. But they're back again for the new try. Oh, look at that. They just tipped it, but they had the height. And all you need is the butt state. Let's go. Quiet Mason, nicely done for that third place. Last week's maker, this week's third place. GG, we got our podium, but we're going to hang out for everybody because there's still many good moves to be had and many good runs to watch. What's the reason for B2D's colors to be slightly different? Just a different capture, different filter. You know, different racers are playing on different setups or different OBS settings. Then maybe they have a, like I know I have a little color saturation on my gameplay filter just to make the colors pop a little bit, make it look nice. So different racers. I actually kind of think it's fun because if you look at the screen, all four of them, their colors are slightly different. I don't know. It's just, that's entertaining to me. Yeah, it's a little more. I like. I don't know. Vote for your favorite. Whose capture color scheme do you like the best? Cause yeah, I think P2's is good. I also like Halcyon's. I like that darker sky, that nice dark, kind of dark blue sky with the stars flashing. Although that is true, there's definitely something to be said for the charm of scan lines, and you know a little bit of that faded look, and the extra purple shine on Nathan's stars. And yeah, yo, long-time friend and champion player, Space Pig, welcome back. It's been nice to see you around. Yeah, they're all slightly different, and when we load in new ones, they'll also be just a little bit different. I hope everybody's having a nice weekend. Good Saturday. If you want to learn a little bit more about Romhack Races, head on over to the site, romhackraces.com. We could use some level makers. We could use some level testers if anybody feels like making a race level. Looks like Digital Andrew and B2 have also found the cheese that can skip the shell bounce. Gotta say, I didn't catch that one myself in testing, so that one's kind of on me. Yeah, yo, big shoutouts, Amper. Big shoutouts to Amper, Sam, Kerr, Dark9, RB Pimlico, SQL Infection for helping this level come together. I tested as well, but I feel like they did more. Sometimes, you know, it's okay to leave cheese in. I am also not philosophically opposed to that. It can be tough to make stuff, yeah. Yeah, it's... Sometimes I find it to be like, making stuff is either like a really slow process, or it could be faster. You know, sometimes you have ideas and things kind of come together and you got some setups that are working, you're making some stuff you like, and then other times it just never seems to, it's like stops working, you know? It's like a well. There's like some amount of water in it, but I never know, and if there isn't any water of creativity, then I have to wait for it to rain and, you know, just come back some other time and maybe I'll have better ideas. I never really know how long it'd take, you know? Looking for fourth right now. We got Digital Andrew, Nathan MG, B2DE, Stu. Looks like Nathan, yo, watch the lower right. Nathan MG. Oh, wow, whoa, whoa, they had it all. They could have had it all. My empire of dirt. Huh. I don't know why you'd want an empire of dirt, but you know, I think that's the point of the song. Nathan, though, looking for that consistency. They are right back here. Almost. I thought Hollow Knight was about spiders. Or am I thinking of webbed? What's up, Kenza? Yo, Nathan in the lower right is lowering themselves into the pit. Yeah, yo, once again, big shout-outs for you, JankPickle. Thank you for making this level this week. We really appreciate the hard work of all the makers. They always do a great job with it. Really appreciate it. Thanks. It's always nice to see just different people's creativity, different people's ideas throughout the weeks. Oh, Nathan MG. MGG. Yo, Nathan MG proving themselves over and over again to be a player not to mess with. They are a talented player. I've seen them do really cool things. GG, well played, Nathan. Thank you for the raid. That would be a 4th tonight. Nicely done. Nicely done. Strong clear, sub 35. Good stuff. We got Muzzle in the lower right. Digital Andrew Stu, B2. Working hard. Oh, make that Halcyon in the lower right. Oh, you did splendidly. Proto Pizza with the H. Off stream. Also, if anybody has any questions, feel free to just shout them out. I can read chat, so if you want to learn a little bit more about this level or Romhack races or whatever we do, just call it right out. I should make a level 1 week. I have made, I've had 2 levels in Romhack races. I made the level for a 420 1 week, which actually, funnily enough, was also a butt gimmick. You float in butt state with a cape. And I also I dropped an unreleased level from Subcon 2 for a Romhack SMB2 race we had a few weeks ago. I'd like to make another one. I may sometime. I may make one. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can resist the idea, because like if I'm making something, I'm in like a creative state. And then I'll notice something and I'll be like, wow, that trick or setup is really cool, but it's really hard. I don't know if I could put it in. I don't know if I could resist, you know? I don't know if I could make something that wouldn't be like 8 out of 10 or something. I'm not trying to brag. Making levels that are easier is a touch, is a special touch and a skill. There's a GG for Stu with that big 17. Nicely played. But yeah, you know, making easier levels is a race. No, not even easy levels. Let me put it this way: making creative, race-friendly levels is more of a design challenge than one might think. Right now, I'm working on the Quantum Dragon, quantum jumping. I'm not sorry, but it's gonna be a thing. I hope. Well, I mean, it is a thing. It will be more of a thing. But it's going to lead to a strange world of setups beyond our imagination into a whole new quantum realm. So it's not like that would be very good for a Romhack race level. Unless I just made like a bunch of easy setups. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We got Halcyon. Look out in the lower right. Halcyon trying to drop down in. Yo, for victory. Good job, Halcyon. Well played. The clears are coming in hot now. 19 racers signed up, and if you think you could try your hand at a Romhack race level, you are always welcome to sign up over on the website. You just gotta sign up just to let us know who to watch, you know, who is actually going to be racing and who would like to be on the restream. Try to shout out the achievements of everybody. You know, this is Romhack races, but not with a capital R, you know what I mean? With a little lowercase. Small race, big community. Amazing chest in the lower right. Second checkpoint section all around. You know, I don't want to just plug things at you all night, but getting pretty excited for that GDQ Romhack race. And there's also going to be a Mario Maker 2 race for our friends in the Super Mario Maker 2 community. Actually, you know, speaking of that, I have a question I'd like to pose maybe for the community. I posted it on the Discord for the staff. But thinking ahead, as we know, or as you will find out soon, GDQ starts June 26th. And you can catch the Romhack race Saturday, July 2nd. Right now it's at midnight. So that'll actually be kind of fun, a late night kind of race, relay time. But, however, the Mario Maker 2 sight reading level race is going to take place Saturday. At right now it's scheduled for like exactly 8 o'clock. And I know we have a lot of friends in the Mario Maker 2 community. There are people in our community who will be racing, commentating, helping out with that, making levels and stuff. What do we want to do about that? Because my concern was maybe we would split the audience, or maybe people would want to watch the Mario, the big Mario Maker race that only comes around every, half a year, whereas Romhack races is every week. So we were thinking maybe move the start time a little bit, maybe ahead of time, maybe start a little earlier that day or something. If you have thoughts on that, as a community, please feel free to participate in that discussion. I don't even think it's like a huge concern. It's just something I noticed, and I don't know if we would skip a week. I think the idea might be to just move the start a little bit, maybe move it 2 hours ahead, and then we could, everybody could watch the Mario Maker race. But I did want to point that out too, because we are, SMW Kaizo, but the Mario Maker community does a lot of incredible things, makes a lot of really good levels, and you will not be disappointed by the Mario Maker race. It's B2 Muzzle Digital Andrew. Amazing chest in me and you. Yeah, that was the thought, maybe. Start 2 hours earlier. That way we do the race and then everybody can go watch Mario Maker. But that would be like a one-time thing. We wouldn't permanently move the start of the race. I feel like this is a good time for everyone still. I mean, like sometime is always going to be a bad time for someone. B2, not a bad time though. Sliding in for that H. Good job. B2 DE81, a solid player. I have seen them do great things. Germ Dove, what's up in the upper left? Germ Dove, muzzle in the upper right. Digital Andrew and Amazing Chest hanging out at the bottom. Not at the bottom, of the screen. So yeah, if you have thoughts about the GDQ time slot race, or just want to get in touch, reach out, you can always do that on the Discord. You can grab the invite from our website. Or if you just want to hang out and, you know, talk shop, get some help with your next Romhack project, get the Romhack Races base ROM for all your hacking needs. All that's on the Discord. Check out that base ROM, though. Amper even put out a new version, which has even more cool stuff. A really great way to kind of shorten the process between you and the next greatest Kaizo level in the world. And really, work on your quantum jumps. You're gonna need them. You didn't hear that the GDQ race levels are gonna be tons of no P-speed mid-airs, yumps, quantum jumps. That silly task thing where you spin jump off a grab block while it breaks on the wall. Wall clips. Pretty sure G-Breeze has a Yoshi item swap. Just an hour of Sheffy mid-airs. You could do about you could do about 1,000. Do about 1,000 in an hour. About 500 every 15 minutes. GGB2, thank you so much for the raid. Well, see, it's a Kaizo 3 Bowser, but it throws other Kaizo 3 Bowsers. And then as the room fills up with Kaizo 3 Bowsers, they just become smaller, right? Like, for every 5 Kaizo 3 Bowsers on screen, they all become like 20% smaller. Thank you for the raid and for the sub, B2. Strong player. I always like to see your gameplay. You as Kaizo 3 Bowser? That would be kind of cool. I'll give you my idea for something that I actually genuinely think would be kind of neat. Change the Mario player sprite to a Charge and Chuck. And then actually give the player Charge and Chuck powers. Right? You can like crouch down to charge a super spring jump. You could throw footballs, you could throw baseballs. Like if you get a fire flower, it's the baseballs. And then like, you know, go kill Mario. I always thought it'd be cool to make Charge and Chuck the character. I just feel like they're a good player character, you know? I've seen hacks where you're a Koopa or you're so, and that's all. It's cool, you know. You be whatever you want. I'm not judging, but I think Charge and Chuck would make a great character. 8 racers on the second section, 4 on the first section, but 12 players doing well. Digital Andrew, look out. Making some moves here. Look out. Needs that shell jump. When's the quantum shell jump hack coming out? Well, I'm literally looking at the quantum dragon that I'm building in my other monitor right now. The intro setup is just absurd. So, you know, soon. Quantum setups are going to be... I'm not going to spend all night talking about that, but quantum setups are really going to be something interesting. They have a lot of versatility, and all of them are like frame perfect, pixel perfect-ish. Functionally pixel perfect, definitely frame perfect. So we've basically just added a whole new category of frame perfect thing into whatever you want. There's a lot of different setups you can force them with. They're very easy to force, and they are frame perfect, pixel perfect. So by adding them into RTA setups, like we have, we've got your yumps, P-switch jumps, same thing. Well, technically not the same thing, but you got your P-switch jumps, you got your mid-airs, you got your no P-speed mid-airs, you got your wall clip and various pixel precise, clip setups and this and that. And so now we have a whole new type of category, which is quantum setups. What's a quantum setup? So there's a property in Mario World that's a little, well, there are a bunch of properties in Mario World that are a little weird. Essentially, by touching a shell at exactly the same, well, a shell or a Goomba or a grab block, by touching something at exactly the moment when it dies, you can get a jump off of it. And if it were something like a Koopa, you can always get a jump off a Koopa. Who cares, right? You just bounce off the Koopa. That's normal behavior. But you could set it up so that something you're not normally supposed to be able to jump from in that way, you can now jump off of. It's a frame perfect, pixel perfect thing, and it's gonna be able to provide for some interesting new setups and some high challenge. So I'm excited to see where the future will take us. This music is so relaxing. I just want to point that out. It's such a relaxing level. It's a nice nighttime theme. We're all just kind of sitting, floating on our butts, as it were. It's just like comfy. Here, I'll give you all an example. I'm not doing this to self-promote, but just because I was talking about it, I uploaded a clip of kind of what I'm talking about. In that clip, you will see that Mario gets a jump off of the shell straight out of the lava by contacting it as it dies. It's a one-frame functionally pixel perfect trick, and you can do a lot of things with that will. I don't like to use the word revolutionize because it's so highfalutin. But it will add a previously unused depth into RTA and item abuse setups for those daring and foolhardy enough to try them and put them in. It's not easy. It's a new type of one-frame trick. It's not even new. Muzzle. Oh, Muzzle! Nice try! An amazing chest, so close as well. Muzzle's right there. There are setups you can force, and it is consistent. However, given the tightness of the setup, it both is and isn't consistent. If you can play perfect, it's as consistent as a Yump is. Here goes Digital Andrew. Oh, they didn't have the cape float. It's Digital Andrew versus Muzzle right now. Two Nyes. Watch the upper right and lower left. But yeah, you can force it. You can definitely force it. And it's as consistent as a Yump is. You know what I mean? Maybe less, but like, the only reason it's inconsistent is because of human error, right? For tasks, it would be all the time. So it's a hard thing to do, but is it consistent? Yeah, totally. Sort of a warped version of what consistent means, but if you hit the same frame in the same pixel every time, the same thing will happen. Amazing chest. Oh, trying for that cape right at the end. I like the cape ending. It's fun. It's just, I don't know. It's like, oh, suddenly cape. And you think maybe you're going to have to do like a big thing, but then you just kind of float. Float to the end. We've got some classy Romhack races emotes if you want to spam those in chat for your favorite racers. Oh no, Digital Andrew missed the slope. That was so good though. They're going to get it. I believe. I have Author Blues style firm belief. But yes, feel free to spam some Romhack Race emotes. They combo well with all your favorite racers' other emotes. And if you don't have any of those, why, you should go and get some. From some racers that you like. Oh, amazing chest. That's a tight shell jump. Right at the end there, right? They got the shell, and they're going up, and then they want to do a pretty high up shell jump, right? It's situated kind of high. Opening the green block, hitting it from below, will shockwave the shell that's next to it, and kind of cause a chain reaction that launches it up into the air. But the point where you catch it is kind of high up, so it's a tighter window to do the shell jump than you might otherwise be expecting. It's a little bit, I would say, maybe a notch or so harder than your garden variety shell jump. Excuse me. You know, you pay a little bit more for this shell jump, but the flavor, it speaks for itself. Oh, nice move from Germdove there, respawning, using that same cheese we've seen, but using it. They missed the Goomba, but they respawned it by just kind of backing up and trying again. Being aware of respawn and how screen position affects affects when things spawn, understanding that like things that move, you can control their position by controlling their spawn, if that makes sense, because they start moving when they spawn. So by changing that moment, you can change their position at another moment later. If you want them to be higher, like the Paragoomba, for example, you want it to be higher up or lower down, just change when it spawns a little bit. It's not really something that I don't really think Kaizo hacks, you don't tend to need that. They don't really play with that very much, unless it's like part of the given setup, but it can be very helpful in standard hacks, kind of understanding where to spawn things. Amazing chest. Oh, no. Oh. They're trying to get a little extra speed there, and they're pressing right, but that breaks their butt state, and they can't kill the piranha. Remember, if Mario's not in butt state when he touches one of those brown piranha plants, it will just eat Mario. And then there'll be no more Mario for anybody. Ooh, muzzle. That can be rough trying to get the get that cape, because it floats back and forth. And that's like, it seems easy when you're looking at it. Digital Andrew! Oh man, that was so good. That was so good. They just need to be holding B a little bit sooner so they float off of the ledge instead of fall. Here goes Muzzle in the upper right for their chance. Easy win. Easy game for good players. Good job, Muzzle. Well played. A strong clear. Hey, if you want to check the leaderboard at any time, you might have already heard, but exclamation leaderboard in the chat. That's the command for you. And you can check out this leaderboard, any of the other ones. If you're just curious who got what place, we got that for everybody. Big shout outs, of course, to D to the 4th. She is one of the kindest, coolest people I can think of. helping us out with all sorts of ASM-related things, website stuff, leaderboard stuff. Just a freaking wonderful person. Ugh. Proto Pizza. What's up in the upper right? It's Proto Pizza. Amazing chest. Oh, man. And there's the Digital Andrew for the win. Oh, man. So close between the two of them. The secret to that final part is holding B while you're on the ground. Because that way you float off the ledge. Holding B on the ground in order to affect how you fall when you walk off the edge is a neat thing. You can do a lot with that. Also, I'd like to recommend the Digital Andrew's Twitch stream. I mean, everybody's stream. Please go follow the racers. They're all kind of wonderful. I'm not trying to play favorites here, but Digital Andrew is just someone I enjoy. They've been very kind. They've been speedrunning a lot of stuff. Luminescent and other hacks. So if you're into that, hit them up with a follow. But Germdove, Proto Pizza, Ender of Games. Amazing chests holding it down for us here. Nice grab on that feather. Amazing chest. Oh, they were being so careful, though. Oh, man. That was really well played. They got the feather, and they were trying to just line themselves up well. Something about the cape, which I guess should be addressed in this moment. While it's not very relevant to what we're doing here, it's a point with a lot of SMW stuff. Is that, what is it, 9-frame delay? When you have the cape makes you fall even more slowly, right? We all know that. It's like a parachute. If you're holding B in the air and you're not flying and you don't have P speed, you're just falling. You will fall at a very slow rate. If you let go of B, you will go back to normal fast fall, Mario speed. However, there is, and I think I'm right, there's a 9-frame delay. And no delay for Germdove getting to that checkpoint. Checkpoint. Well, it is a checkpoint, meaning check. The level is done. Good job, Germdove. But yeah, there's a 9-frame delay when you let go of B, where you will not immediately return to fast acceleration. That is vanilla behavior. Normally in the vanilla game, I don't quote me on this. It might be more than 9 frames. I think it's 9 frames. Here goes amazing chest. Oh, you got it. That was clean. Amazing chest. Good win. Good win. Well played. They earned that one. But yeah, that 9-frame delay is vanilla behavior, and some people do not like it because it messes you up, right? Because if you're falling slowly and you want to fall fast, now your timing is thrown off because you don't start falling fast immediately when you let go of the button. So there are patches that take that out and replace it with just an instant drop. I've gotten used to that, but I think that's the way things tend to be going. I think people are kind of removing it, but I don't think you need to, really. But I don't know. It doesn't. I don't think the Romhack Race's base ROM takes it out. I'm not ready to just have that be a universally removed thing. I think it's part of the challenge of Cape, and I don't necessarily think we ought to smooth out all the rough edges of Cape. The turnaround patch makes sense, but the 9-frame delay is kind of like, I think if you want to use it in your design, you should, but if you don't have any use for it in the design, then you don't really need to get rid of it. That's just me. It's just my take. I always sort of default to vanilla behavior, less augmented. Fernap in the upper left, Proto Pizza in the upper right, Ender of Games in the lower left, and Ritaku in the lower right. What about Spring Jank? Should that be patched out? No. Spring Jank isn't jank. It's just... Well, Spring Jank isn't inconsistent jank. It's just jank that you have to know how to work with. Yes, I mean, are springs weirdly janky and can take your momentum sometimes? Yeah, totally. But I think springs get a bad rep because they are obviously a little bit screwed up like that because we're not using them in the way the devs designed them to be used. However, you can just learn how to compensate for that. You can be just as good and fearless at spring stuff. Mid-air springs, forward toss springs, drop mid-airs, turn back drops, forward tosses. You can be so good that what we call spring jank doesn't really apply to you as a player. The metaphor that I like to use is it's like a drawer in your kitchen that sticks. All right, there's a sticky drawer, and when you go for the utensil drawer, you bonk your hand a little bit, because it sticks. And for whatever reason, it's a magic drawer, a wizard cursed it, and you cannot unstick it. That's like springs. They're a sticky drawer. And so all you have to do is just remember that this is the drawer that sticks. And then pretty soon, right, you just learn that, okay, if I just pull up a little bit while I pull the drawer out or jiggle it a little bit, it works fine, right? You still open the drawer. You still get the same thing. You just have to remember that, yes, I have to pull a little harder on this one because it sticks. Springs are like that. You know what I mean? Springs are like that. Yes, they are a little janky. But just compensate for that, right? That's the challenge. The challenge is doing the trick, and on top of that, it's compensating for the fact that, this is kind of weird. So you just learn a weird muscle memory. I'm not, I realize this is a long-form way of saying get good, and I don't mean it like that. If you struggle with those kinds of things, that's valid. It takes time to learn, but just that it is possible. That's my point, right? That it can be learned to the point where there is no longer really anything to complain about. And you just say, spring tricks? All right, let's go! I've really tried for springs. I've tried to help people not have such a rough time with them, because they definitely do, and it's valid, right? It's like, yeah, that does suck. Sucks to have to pull on that sticky drawer, it definitely does. But yeah, the mystery can be solved. You can fix that. It might take, I don't know what it would take for any individual to do that, but you can fix that and you can make spring tricks just be chill again. There's jank that you have to get used to because it acts weirdly. And then there's jank which determines whether or not you live and die, right? If you have to win a coin toss, 50-50, you're either going to get it or not, and it's not up to you at all. We don't like that, right? That takes it out of your hands. But if it's just a super awkward setup with a small frame window to get all the things correct, is that jank? No. It's just inconsistent in a knowable way. Like the shopping cart with the bad wheel. You just steer to the other side. No one would be like, oh, I can't drive this shopping cart at all. Every time I push it slightly, it goes to the right. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do it. It's a broken shopping cart. Like, yeah, it is kind of broken, but just lean a little bit to the other side. You can still do your groceries. It's like that. It's like that. I guess you could say it's a difference between knowable jank and unknowable jank. Did Ender land on the swooper with kick state? Could we get a clip? Maybe we could take it back. You know what might have happened is a quantum jump. Ender might have killed the Koopa at the same moment they pressed out of that state. So they got the jump off of the destruction of it. Could be a quantum jump. The weird thing about quantum jumps too is that you start to notice them everywhere. They're spooky. They're in there. And this is something that we've always kind of noticed as being like, oh yeah, that weird thing that happens every now and then. They are very quantum. Spooky action at a distance. They were rebooting Quantum Leap. I don't know the original. I just know that it was like a sci-fi show, but I don't remember it. I never saw it. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, losing Slide Late could give that illusion. You got me curious now. Could you use butt state to create quantum leaps? Because you're destroying something. You're destroying something with your butt state. And that creates the action. Any destruction, the destruction of a sprite creates a quantum state. So, in theory, you could do it. I'm probably going to sit down and test that later. You can also do quantum jumps with grab blocks if you're spinning. But, yo, we're about an hour in. And, yeah, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to ask. Go on over to the website if you want to learn more. Thanks for hanging out. Big shout-outs again while we're just kicking it. Big shout-outs again, of course, JankPickle, our maker tonight. Thank you so much for that. Ampersand, Kerr, Darkenine, RB Pimlico, and myself tested tonight. Darkenine, Kelgand, Cherry V, Om Nom Nom, scouting and modding chat for us. Dr. No on the restream. D to the 4th on the website. And Revelug, tonight's winner. Not that it's all about the win, just, you know, for those that were curious. Oh, this is such a comfy, man. This is like a comfy Saturday night. I feel like I'm sitting poolside at GDQ Hotel, listening to the elevator music. People put on consistently good races here. I'm always really impressed with the quality of the levels and the gameplay. Commentary, you know, hit or miss. Sometimes that guy just rambles a bit. And again, it's a little difficult to give play-by-play on the same obstacles over and over, but if you have questions or want to learn more, please feel free to ask. It's not a stupid question, even if it seems really basic or whatever. If you're new to this all and you want to learn more, whatever you need, you just let me know. Well, thank you, Jerry Corn. I'm glad. Yeah, smash that follow button or tap it gently. They are kind of expensive to replace, and people have been smashing it a lot lately. So, you know, whatever you want to do, just make sure you come here Saturday nights at 8 for another fresh level and another fresh race. How are you all? Doing okay? Comfy Saturday. No, we got a good stock of follow buttons. We got a couple cases in the back. Actually there might be a few more in the warehouse upstate. But we haven't been out to take stock for a minute. But yeah, we got a couple cases. You know, just, you know, trying to pinch pennies a little bit and save them where we can. I mean, they break, they get pushed, and they break. So, you know, it's one of those things, right? It's a given in the industry. You are going to have to invest some in having a stock of follow buttons. It's one of those things. Fortunately, Supplies are up right now. The supply chain has been good for that. The materials are good. There's a couple of different actually companies that make them that are all kind of competing for business right now. So it's a buyer's market for follow buttons, and that's great for us. So yeah, we're doing okay with that. Thank you for asking, though. We might need, yeah, we definitely do want to be stocked on follow buttons for week 200 because it's coming up. Five more weeks after GDQ settles down, after all the hub from all the other levels. Week 200 is going to be something special, and I can't really tell you any more than that, but it'll be a big milestone for us, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate that with a really special race for everybody. Secrets for now, though. No, what could it be? Could be anything. Might even be a Mario level. Thanks for making Romhack races a part of your Saturday, though. It's honestly an honor to be a community institution. And whenever I'm hanging out and in a chat or something, whenever I'm hanging out and I hear people talk about the race, or yo, are you gonna do the race tonight? Yo, I'm looking forward to watching the race tonight. Oh yeah, I gotta get ready for the race. You know, that really makes me smile. It is very fulfilling for me to be able to build a community resource up like this, something that people can have fun with and get excited for on Saturdays. Oh, it's time for the race! Woo! Thanks, you all make that happen. I appreciate it a lot. It is going to be hot. Fire 150 next week. One of my very favorite makers, I think. They made some great KLDC stuff. They've made some great levels in the past for us, and they're going to bring us something fun tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week. Well, 6 days tomorrow. 6 days from tomorrow. Tomorrow. You saw that movie, 6 days till tomorrow, about the big tidal wave. 6 days till tomorrow sounds like such like an overblown thing, like an album or a book or a movie or something. Oh, have you read 6 days till tomorrow? It's like one of those ones that like people like use to seem like they're deep, but it's like not really. Oh yeah, pretty deep. I read 6 days till tomorrow. Think I got my life figured out after that point, Yo, Rotaku, good respawn strats here. But it is all about the jump articulation, and that is something that's making this tough. Remember, pressing left or right in the air will break your butt state. And butt state is one state we don't want to smash. Oh my god, dog. Oh, fuck. I don't feel valued in my job as a scientist, and therefore I hate God. Oh, man. Yeah, lots of control drops in this level. That's another kind of skill. A dropped or an upthrown object will inherit some of Mario's momentum and direction. So learning when and where and how to make drops is a little trick of skill. A ridiculously complicated auto level. That is kind of interesting. That actually is kind of interesting. It's like, it's an auto level, like my imagination is, it's an auto level, but you have to kind of figure out what the thing to do to make it automatic is, if that makes any sense. Like, in most auto levels, you just like hold down the whole time or don't press anything or something. And in this one, it would be like you start out by holding down, but then you have to like figure out that, okay, now I need to hold right and B, and then the rest will be automatic. I don't know if that would be like die to learn. It seems like it would just create a level where you just repeatedly die to try different buttons to hold. But maybe there's like a cool way to do that, you know? You could like show the player in a cool way, or I don't know, give them like some kind of indication and they have to react to it, or like just show them the buttons on screen and then they have to do it like really fast, almost like DDR. You know, it's automatic as long as they... Oh, you know what? There's an idea. It's an automatic level, and it's like DDR, where the button to push or the button to hold down shows up in the HUD box, right? And then you have to just match it in order to keep all it going. And then if you do, it makes like stuff that would be impossible otherwise. I like theoretical Mario levels. I always like theorizing about just like what could you do with the game at all. I don't think we've exhausted our creative potential as a community at all whatsoever, right? Just more stuff keeps coming out, and I spend a lot of time trying to look into the future and see what might be next, and I don't think anyone is going to run out of ideas. Same, Doc, yeah. Yeah, the creative potential that we have not maxed that out yet at all. And yeah, knowing what's... I'm not going to say... I'm not allowed to say. But knowing what's coming up for the GDQ race, yeah, we have not maxed out our creative potential at all. And we've got many years, if not decades, worth of fun and interesting and surprising things to do with Super Mario World. It's a weirdly malleable, silly putty of a game. At this point, we've turned Mario World into a set of paints. Mario World itself is now a hardware store. We can just go, you know, have we exhausted all the creative potential of the hardware store? No, we haven't. Same thing for World. Sure, a lot of things are going to be based out of timber and screws and, you know, drywall and stuff, but there's an endless amount at this point. I really do think we've kind of hit that point of density with resources and knowledge and different perspectives and popularity of Kaizo. I really do think if we haven't already, we are inevitably reaching the point of ultimate density where there's stuff to make forever. Yeah, limits are way off on the horizon. Right now, I am actively trying to level up the entire endeavor of item abuse comboing by a light year or two with quantum setups, and just put some difficulty up there that we'll all get to have some fun trying to get to. You know, there's always got to be a star in the sky. As soon as we got to the moon, you know. Now I want to point out Mars, be like, hey, we could go a little further. It's always further, you know. You always want to just go a little bit further, a little bit further. Right? The stuff getting tested is interesting too, because I'm here moderating some like awesome new hacks. Baron of Shell, been ripping it up lately. Everybody's playing Baron of Shell, which is cool to see. Shell hacks are in again, but you know, and then but the stuff being play tested. Huh. Good race. Good times. We still do. I would say we got a race going on. I just want to shout out Fernap, Proto Pizza, Enderoof Games, and Rataku. Everybody working hard on the second section. If you have questions, please feel free to shout them out. That's fine. You know, that's a good point, Doc. That's a good point. Big shout outs to Third Wall Mouse and the crew of people who really made open playtesting part of the culture of Kaizo. It leveled everybody up. I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think there are entire avenues of the SMW experience that haven't been fully explored either. I look forward to it, Dark and I. Absolutely. I'm happy to be in SMW Central mod position because it's fun. I get to stand at the gate and I get to see all the cool stuff, you know. Every week, honestly, every week I see something new, awesome, and cool in Kaizo. As far as Quantum Dragonery, it's coming. You'll see. I've got a pretty chaos looking setup over here. I'm actually finding myself having to slow down and play the game at 50 or 75% speed in order to make sure that certain setups work. Gonna work on it tonight? Oh, maybe. I'm taking, for me streaming, I'm taking the night off. I'm hanging out with Sky. We're gonna watch movies. But I'll be working on it. Y'all get to see. I don't really have anything to show right now, just one setup. It is possible to create free. There is a free setup for a jump, but it's not what you think. It's not free in the way that free is free. You'll all see soon enough. I'd say save your hype for GDQ though. That's going to be the next big thing. I have seen many futures and they all look pretty good. As for the race, I'll bring this up because folks have asked, and I want to add my 2 cents on this. I mean this genuinely, absolutely. Like, I'm not trying to be hype guy or whatever. I mean I am, but I mean this in a genuine way. The race, people have asked, you know, what's your prediction for the race? Who's it going to be? What's going to happen? I think having seen the levels and knowing, I have a pretty good handle on all the play styles of the racers. I think it is absolutely 100% too close to call. I genuinely, absolutely mean that. I have thought myself, even in my own secret thoughts, because to say that, you know, I think someone's going to win is to say that I think someone else is going to lose. And even in my own secret thoughts, I've contemplated, like, okay, who's gonna get it? And way too close to call. I really honestly don't know. I think every one of the racers is going to be able to make clutch moves, and I fully expect to see something clutch from all of the racers. When we did the last race at SGDQ 2019, everybody that ran had a moment. Everybody got a checkpoint or cleared a level or, you know, did something. Everybody had their moment, and I think there's going to be even more of that. I think the potential for such moments is even more evenly dispersed this time around, and especially with the practice that I've seen people putting in, it is way too close to call. I'm very curious to see how it wraps up, and the only prediction that I could possibly make is that I have a strong suspicion that it's going to come down to, as it normally does, moment-to-moment instances. I really do think it might come down to one player read the obstacle that the other player read but didn't get the jump quite right. One person got the sight read, the other person didn't. It could have been either one of them, but one of them did, one of them didn't. And I really do. I think the race is going to come down to that tight of instances. It might even be more than that. I mean, the last race, we almost cleared like at exactly the same time. There was sometimes less than 30 seconds difference between the two teams clearing the level. Or like one team would clear and the player that was on that level from the other team would clear on that attempt. I think most of the levels wound up that way. It might even be tighter. In fact, I'm curious if we should have a plan for like photo finishes or something. You know, like it may, honestly, it may come down to frames. It really may. But, you know, it's not all about the race. The race is just the presentation. The race is just the package that the presentation is wrapped up in, right? I just like to have fun with it. This is all just fun and speculative. I'm not trying to put pressure on people or make it be all about the competition. Just fun for speculation, fun to talk about, you know, what's it going to be, who's going to do what. Everybody's going to do well. And the real presentation is, you know, the levels, the community, the skill of all the players just being on display, raising money for charity. You know, it's a presentation wrapped up in the wrapping paper of a race. Once you open the wrapping paper, what you get inside is the gift of our community and all the work everybody puts in. I'll be watching from home. I'll have a lot of sads missing out, but I also get to sit in the AC and drink a drink. Dr. No, 2 predictions. No head start will matter at the end of it, and there will be at least one thing in every level that makes you actually gasp. I think those are pretty good. Yeah, I think those are pretty good predictions. I think those are pretty good predictions. I think that, you know, to put it, I don't know. I don't want to spill too much about it, but man, it is going to be so fun. Let's see. Let me see how to put this. Especially for viewers, the racers would be in the zone, and I think in some cases, you know, you're in the zone and you don't even notice, you know, all the wild stuff happening around you in the level. Especially for viewers, I think the levels will be just a non-stop up until the very last of, wow, you thought you saw it all, you know. And if you like that last one, you know, check this out. Don't blink. Don't get up. Make sure you just have a seat, stay comfy, get your donations in ahead of time. You know what I mean? Don't blink. You're going to be surprised and excited at each and every one of them. I'm super proud of the entire team of makers. They really came together in a great way, and I think everybody also has something very unique. We're gonna get some fun. We're gonna get some fun stuff that is very much I don't know, unique. That's a good word. That's a good word for it. We get fun and diverse levels. So it means the racers have to be ready for anything. Yeah, that's a good point too, Doc. If you're excited about the list of makers, get doubly excited because each level is probably the purest essence of each maker. Yeah, I thought that as well when I was testing, that each maker really shows their personality very well, and it's like, ah, yes, this is a level by this maker. And yo, yeah, I want to shout out Perpetual Snow down here in the lower right. We got Perpetual Snow, Ender of Games, Proto Pizza, and Fernap. Everybody working on the second section. Got to keep that butt state. Get the shell to the end. Bopping, jumping. And have to make sure they have butt state when they touch those brown piranha plants, or else they will be chomped upon. Yeah, that is a nice little respawn strat Perpetual Snow has. I like these little side strats. I don't think they mean bad things for the level. I think it means that there's just some adaptability. You can use your brain. If anything, I kind of like when the level maker seems to say, it's okay that you thought outside the box, instead of the level maker saying, no, do exactly what I do. You ever like think of some really clever cheese and then you find out that the level maker like thought of it ahead of time and stopped you? It's like, okay, I guess. No fun allowed today, I see. You know? Kind of like that. Like, it's fine, you know, okay, no fun, I get it, I'll do the thing. But it's nice to feel clever. Yeah, it's a very tough balance, and I would almost say one that's impossible. It almost is impossible to do that consistently. And, you know, you need to kind of pick and choose the moments where you put it. Endless Ascent with the H. Love to see it. Hey, 1 second, you know, I feel a little bit parched over here in the announcer's booth, aka my stream room. I'm gonna get up real quick and refill my beverage. So just, you know, talk amongst yourselves. Do your own commentary at home in the comfort of your own home, and you can do it however you like. You know, don't do anything cool while I'm gone. Be right back. All right, hello. I made it back. Did anything cool happen? Were y'all having a little party? Oh, I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you again for making Romhack races a little part of your Saturday. These are so fun. I don't know. I really enjoy this every week. I'm glad that we can have an institution as a community. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. The game of Kaizo Mario is beautiful and dear to me, and I really hope to be able to just share that with everybody. Share that love and passion. Freaking Mario, you know? That's Super Mario. You think the Super Mario movie is going to have a reference to Kaizo? I think there is a strong possibility of this. Actually, a strong possibility. Because a lot of the things in Kaizo are action-y, like a shell jump or a spring jump. And you gotta figure they'd be action sequences. I wonder. I actually think there's a strong possibility of this. He's gonna like do a shell jump or something. Likes to pretend the Super Mario World Kaizo community doesn't exist. They like to pretend a lot of things don't exist. But they sure like our ideas for stuff. It's like they try to pretend, but then Mario Maker 2 comes out and we're like, "Hey, that's all the favorite stuff that Kaizo players like." On-off blocks. This is like everything from Invictus. Plus, I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole philosophical discussion on it right now, but you know, sometimes we talk about, oh, Nintendo doesn't, you know, doesn't care about Kaizo. They don't care about the ROM hacking community, whatever. And you know, aside from, granted, it'd be cool to be left alone, you know, and to be able to do more fan stuff without Nintendo aggressively litigating things or cease and desist or whatever, you know, for fan sites. Which ROM hacking is safe from because of patches. But aside from that want that we have, what do we want from them anyway? You know, aside from just leave us alone, and it would be great if we didn't have to watch out for the looming specter of Nintendo messing with any fan game. I mean, obviously, copyright infringement, at a certain point, you know, companies pursue that. I get it. But aside from just, we would prefer to not have to watch our back all the time for big Nintendo, you know, flagging our YouTube videos, allow content creators to make, you know, more money on their YouTube and stuff. Aside from that, what do we want from them, actually? What do we want? Do we want Nintendo to make more? Because Mario World is like, what, a 30-year-old video game at this point. Why should they care about the ROM hacking community for a 30-year-old video game? What do we want from them? I'm not trying to be facetious or mean with this question, but it's something that's genuinely on my mind because I can't think of anything. In a pretend world, Nintendo would hire all the Kaizo makers and have the Kaizo Olympics every year, Super Mario World 30th anniversary, and you know, in a perfect world they would do that. But that's just like fantasy, right? What do I realistically want from them? What do we want? What is it? You know what I mean? What? I can't think of anything. Like what? Buy a hack from someone, hire people to make new Mario World hacks. You know, Nintendo doesn't support the ROM hack community. Aside from just, please don't cease and desist us, what does support look like? What do we even want? You know what I mean? What do we want them to do for us? We already have the source code for Mario World. We have all the assets we want. The game is 30 years old. What do we want Nintendo to create, like a user-generated library? Do we want Nintendo to make Mario Maker but for Lunar Magic so we can upload hacks and play them on the virtual console? I don't. You know what I mean? I just don't know what they want from us. Heck, they leave us alone, right? ROM hack races, streamers are fine. I know, you know, YouTube content creators have a rough time with monetizing Nintendo content. We would like that to not be a thing, but I don't know. What do we want from them? Acknowledgement that our way of playing the game is a valid way of doing it. Yeah, I could see that. Like Melee, sure. I think though, and I can't even recall, but there was a blurb, one little bit from someone at Nintendo, and they were asked about, I don't know if it was Reggie or who it was, but someone like big at Nintendo, some designer, or maybe it was the designer of Mario Maker 2, like the lead, or Mario Maker 1. And they were asked about, what do you think of people that make those really hard levels? And they basically said, oh yeah, I know about them, but that's cool, I don't really care. You know, it's whatever, they do what they want. So that's a little bit of that. I mean, it would be rad if Nintendo would acknowledge the Super Mario World fan community. Happy 30th birthday, Mario World. Look at the legacy the game has made. Here are some of our favorite picks for the best Mario ROM hacks on the Nintendo Direct. Shoutouts to these content creators. Great work. Keep it up. We love to see it, right? That would be awesome. If Nintendo would come down and do something like that, that'd be rad. But that's like, okay, that's good. But I don't know, it's lip service, you know? So I guess my point is that when people talk about, oh, Nintendo doesn't care about ROM hacks, they don't care about us. Is that important? Like, do we need them to care? What do we want from them? You know, that's just me. I'm not trying to be combative, get into the whole philosophical thing, but you know, what do we want anyway? Because I think we're doing great on our own. Fernap, Proto Pizza, Ender of Games, and Rataku also doing great on their own in this race through an exciting Super Mario World Kaizo level. Sure. I get that. I get that. You know, we would like the acknowledgement. Yeah, but you know what exactly? Aside from Nintendo, just like, you know, Doug Bowser and Reggie are gonna like drop by the Romhack Races Discord. Hey, we built you a new Lunar Magic with all these Nintendo. You know, aside from just magical wish granting, where Nintendo has the Kaizo Olympics every year and there's $1 million cash prize and it's the biggest. You know, we could do that forever, but nah. A new Lunar Magic will be pretty sweet. Yeah. You know, if Nintendo put out a Lunar Magic free to use, free to do whatever, we will not come after you for using it. Yeah, sure, that'd be cool. But then, I don't know, think of this, would we trust it? Would we trust them? You know, would we trust them to really give that? Because they've dropped the ball a lot, right? You know, we say we want this, but are we even in a position to accept it? Because that's my thought. You know, if Nintendo puts out... Because it's like Mario Maker kind of is their Lunar Magic. That's what they were kind of trying to say. Like, hey, why don't you ditch that Lunar Magic and come over here and play Mario Maker? Would we trust them? At what point, you know what I mean? Where does our lust for accuracy and perfect physics end? And why can't we just satiate that with the original game where it's just already perfect? But I don't know. I'm not trying to go on a soapbox about it. It's just something that occurs to me. And, you know, I'll postulate this as well. Maybe Nintendo doesn't hate us. Maybe not. Maybe they just kind of, like, don't care as much as we do. You know what I mean? Like, this game for them is 30 years old. You know, some of the people, aside from the big names, some of the people that worked on that game might not even work for that company anymore. Like, they're making Nintendo Switch games, and here we are, a kind of like medium-sized but vocal and active community of people who make hacks for a 30-year-old video game that they made. You know, maybe they're like kind of like tisk tisk, you know, copyright infringement is bad, but that's pretty cool. Maybe they don't actually hate us. They're just not. They don't care. You know what I mean? It's as though, I don't know. It's like you meet an actor, right? A famous actor, and all you want to talk about is that one indie movie they did when they were 20 years ago. Oh, I loved you in 9 Days Till Tomorrow. Oh, that was the best one. 9 Days Till Tomorrow. Can we please talk about that? And this actor is like, cool, thank you, but I haven't thought about this movie in 20 years. I'm doing so many other things, right? I went on and did all kinds of tons of stuff. You know, and I thank you. I'm glad you like 9 Days Till Tomorrow, but understand that was something I did 20 years ago, and I have moved on at this point. Maybe Nintendo just kind of feels like that, right? Like, you know, like we're the ones that refuse to give up this 30-year-old game. And they're like, okay, you can do this. That's cool. We like you, but don't expect much from us because you're living in the past and we're not. I don't know. Yeah, right. And then, right. And now you've cornered the actor, and you're trying to tell him about this D&D campaign you wrote based on the plot of that movie. And the actor is sitting there going, "Wow, they've gotten more into the lore of this movie than me or the director did." You know, and they're just like, "I'm glad that you absolutely love 9 Days After Tomorrow. It seems that you love it more than me. It's kind of yours now." You know, like you could just have it. Like, exactly. I mean, they're a company. They're making profits. Mario World isn't profitable. I mean, honestly, in a dream scenario, what do? If I had my way, if I get to talk to Doug Bowser, listen, just make a new Super Nintendo. Just do it again. Heck, put out a Super Nintendo like Omni retro system. Make your own NX or whatever, and it plays Super Nintendo, N64, and NES cartridges all in one. Plays all your old cartridges, and then just make new ones. Just make new Super Nintendo games. Make, I don't know, put out a couple every year. Hire indie devs to make one. Have like a Nintendo creator to console program where aspiring indie devs can submit their work and Nintendo might release it as a console for their reboot system. You could do this. You have billions of dollars. It doesn't even have to be profitable. But, you know, they choose not to. I don't think they ever would. That's just like what I would do. We're bringing it back. We're making new NES, Super NES, and N64 games and releasing a new clone multi-console that plays all your old cartridges plus new ones. And we're just bringing them back. It's a premium, high-end, niche collector thing for the weird old school fans that like it. But, I don't know. You could do that. "9 days after tomorrow." But so I'm kind of going on a tear here. I hope y'all are having a nice night. Thank you for making Romhack Race as part of it. Fernap, Proto Pizza, Ender of Games, and Ritaku working hard here on the second section. A challenging level tonight from JankPickle. And I hope you're staying comfy. That is where it's at. 9 days after tomorrow. Oh, but I was saying 9 days until tomorrow. Not 9 days till tomorrow. Just for true surreal weirdnisms. Or heck, Nintendo puts out like a, I don't know, do a new Switch thing, but have like an indie developer thing. You don't even need cartridges. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't work at Nintendo. I don't get to tell them what to do. Maybe someday someone will just make a new Super Nintendo game. Maybe we'll finally deconstruct Mario World enough. This is more of a philosophical question. I don't actually know the answer, both in terms of code and legally. But, like, how far can you deconstruct the code of Mario World to the point where it no longer is Mario World? You know, could you make an entirely, completely new game out of just repurposing bits of code? And where does that line between this is Mario World end? Like if you watch the YouTube channel Nile Red, he does chemistry experiments, and he like extracted bismuth crystals, the mineral, from Pepto-Bismol, and turned like rubber gloves into grape soda. Like, all that stuff is in there, but obviously the bismuth crystals are no longer bismuth or Pepto-Bismol, right? So at what point do we do that to Mario World? At what point does Mario World just no longer be Mario World? Proto Pizza! Oh, Proto Pizza, nice try. They were almost there. Yeah, now we're Ship of Theseus. Sure we are. You know, Germdove, they tried that a little bit with a game called NES Remix on the Wii U. It was like old NES games with like little mini timed challenges. It was kind of like the Nintendo World Championship cartridge. Yeah, it was like Nintendo NES WarioWare. They kind of did that, and I actually had high hopes for that. I liked that game, and I played it a bit. But they never did. I was hoping for maybe a Super Nintendo remix or something. N64 remix could be, and they never did. They just kind of let it hang. Thank you very much, Sessions. All your subs and bits go right back into the Romhack Race community, so we can keep bringing you this kind of stuff. Pay for server costs for the website, commission emotes and artwork, and generally just be able to bring you good content. Thank you so much for that. It is a pretty cool chuck trick. Yo, Rataku making big use of that cheese. You like to see it. Boy, I think I don't have anything else to plug except for the great taste, of course, of Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard. Wherever there's a Romhack race, you're bound to find Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard there to support all players and all racers. Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard sponsors all Kaizo players at no cost to them, and all the cost to you, the consumer, when you buy Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard. Ooh, Proto Pizza looking for the win. Well, these aren't the original 4 racers. The original the race was won in about what 20 to 30 minutes. But we hang out, let everybody play. It's less about the race and more about everybody doing their best. And sometimes a racer that doesn't necessarily get a high rank on the leaderboard will do something that nobody else did, or find a cheese that nobody else found, or a strat, or like really genuinely do something massively impressive, but they didn't necessarily take first. So leaderboard position is not necessarily the be all end all. It doesn't tell the whole story. Thank you, Attention Deficit Dad. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good night. Thanks for spending it with us. I just really want to try to keep that focus on the good stuff that the racers are doing and the full community involvement. You know, like I said, the race is just the wrapping paper around the real presentation, which is showing off the levels, everybody showing off their skills, regardless of where they place, and having fun and getting a chance to just do a community event like this. Same thing for the GDQ race, same thing for all the races that we do. You know, there's only so much value in competition. You know, there's a bit. It can be valuable. It keeps you sharp, helps your nerves a little bit. It helps you focus. You know, there's value in that. There's fun in that to see who can clutch it out and who can win. But you can't get any more than that. You know, to push the competition edge is to stretch something too thin. And it becomes not fun anymore, you know, when it's all who can win, who's the best. Oh, you lost. You're not as good as so-and-so. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. So that's what's up. That is a good thing too. Yeah, everybody's individual skill progression week on week. Yeah, and that's a nice privilege for me being commentary on this, because I just kind of get to sit back and just kind of watch everybody improve. And I have seen that. I can say I have a lot of perspective because I watch a lot of Kaizo players and I've seen a lot of races. And one thing that has always been true is that like nobody is doing very, very badly. No one is the weird outlier that did so much worse than everybody else around them. There are certain, you know, there are like groups that kind of, you know, race up. There's a first, you know, there's a faster group. There's a group kind of in the back, but nobody is the singular weird outlier. And I don't know, for me, that's, you know, that's the fear, right? And I've heard other people say that too, like, oh no, I'm the only one. Everybody else beat this except for me. I'm the only one that struggled with this part. Maybe sometimes you're the one that got hung up on this or that because of reasons, but there's nobody that's like, wow, they suck. Everybody else did great, but they did terribly. It doesn't happen that way. I've literally never seen it. So I hope that can put everybody's mind at ease. I know racing can be, give you the nerves, but you are not, I don't mean this in a way, you are not special. You are just doing what most people generally do with the level. Even the, the good players, the players that are learning, you are not that unique that you are going to do something that no one else is doing. I don't mean to say that people can't have clutch moments and find cheese and things that only they found, but it's never that drastic. Nobody just absolutely crushes and runs away with the level in all the time, and nobody just completely loses their face all the time. It's always competitive. It's always, some people are always together. And that's why the GDQ race is going to be really great, because I'm telling you, it's going to come down to one obstacle. Two racers were on the same obstacle. One racer got through, the other racer missed it by a hair. If you want a prediction for the race, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be white knuckle, and I think the racers are just going to absolutely crush it. But once again, I will remind you about that big stock of follow buttons we have in the back. You can smash them and break them, that's fine. Throw them against the wall like a frisbee, it's fun, they make a cool sound. Come back and see us Saturdays at 8 for Romhack races. We're going to have a level from Fire next week, and you can check out our backlog of levels on romhackraces.com. That's romhackraces.com. It's romhackraces.com. All right, I have received the official word. We schedule these broadcasts for about 2 hours every Saturday, 8 to 10. But we're going to go into a 5-minute overtime, sudden death. Well, hopefully not sudden death, sudden GG. Looking for a win from Proto Pizza, watching Fernap, Ender of Games, Ritaku getting very, very close as well. And we're gonna take it 5 minutes over, see if we can get some extra clears. Of course, the racers are allowed to go as long as they want. But, we all have lives and things, so we got 2 hours. Saturday night's good for Kaizo on Twitch, though. Follow the racers, go around, make some friends. Just say hey, learn a thing or two about Kaizo. We all succeed together. Proto Pizza, let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're up. They got the cape. They're up. They're down. Oh, they're all the way down. No. All right, this is completely unrelated to anything that's going on, but I just have streamer brain on right now. And I want to tell you about something that's been living rent-free in my head, and I'm fine with it living there. But it's been hanging out. Has anybody else even seen I Can Only Count to 4? Have you seen this? It just showed up on my feed one day, and I'm like, no, this is so dumb. And then I watched it, and I'm like, this is so dumb. It's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, but they do it with Muppets, and it's like a Sesame Street song, but it's a parody of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. But it's I Can Only Count to 4. What comes after 1? What comes after 2? Oh my god, it's so funny. If you haven't seen it, it's super funny. Cookie Mosher, Helmo. Yeah, oh, it's great. I can only count to 4. It's just been living in there, man. I'm just like hanging out. I'm just like, what comes after 2, 3? What comes after 3? 1, 2, 9, 10. Super funny. Definitely recommend it. Also, Carrie, hi. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping by Romhack Races. Another fine friend over there, Carriarium, streaming some Celeste and lots of fun stuff. A good stream, one I enjoy hanging out on. Nathan, oh yeah, that'd be on brand for you with Cookie Monster, yeah. Is it Psycho Stick? I think so. I think so, Beastfully. I'm not. Is it? That's Psycho Stick? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I didn't look at any of their other videos, but I think someone shared that and I was just like, oh my word. I got the 4. It's funny too because like that's what Sesame Street songs were like, right? It would be something silly like that, like I don't know how to tie my shoes, something like that. So it's like double funny. It's a funny parody, but then it's like also like an accurate parody to what they would do. I like multi-layered things like that. Great commentary and fun races. Well, shucks, that's made possible by viewers like you and a grant from the Chubb Group. Stay tuned next for Antiques Roadshow. And then later, a rerun of Faulty Towers. I get into small minor arguments with my wife because I really feel like it should be called Downtown Abbey, not Dalton Abbey or whatever the heck it's actually called. I don't even know the show. I just know it's a PBS show. But I was just like, yeah, Downtown Abbey. And she looks at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you know, that PBS show, Downtown Abbey. So you mean Dalton Abbey? I'm like, no, I don't. You're saying it wrong. It's an abbey. It's downtown. It's Downtown Abbey. I don't know what you want from me here. ABCD Earth? I'll have to check that out. We got about a minute to go, and Mallow the cat is suggesting that I pick him up and give him a big hug, which I'm always glad to do. No, it's not. It's Dalton. D-O, it's like Dow. Dalton. It's not downtown. I know. I know. It ought to be. It really ought to be. Right? I know, right? Well, we're coming up here on 5 after, everybody. It is a lovely time hanging out with everyone here on Romhack Races, but we are probably going to be wrapping up for a raid. The racers are welcome to keep playing, and you are welcome to go watch some more progress. Go follow some Kaizo streamers on Twitch. Come back and see us again 8 o'clock on Saturday for another Romhack race. Get ready for GDQ. Check out the website. Join the Discord server if you want to race or sign up or make a level. We would love to have you. Mallow the cat, I will play with you in 1 second. We are going to go raid Ritaku. They are kind and cool. Like you. You are also kind and cool. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope you have a very nice night. My cat is trying to get my attention. Oh, look at him over there. Hey, don't forget, you matter. Your thoughts matter, your heart matters, your feelings matter. You matter to other people in your lives, and you matter to me as human beings. You matter to the internet's #1 longboy for it, and the people that matter to you in your lives would love to hear from you about that. We know Black Lives Matter, LGBTQIA+ lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, disabled lives matter. You too. I will see you all around on my stream if you want to come watch me tomorrow night. I'll be back for some more standard GC7 shenanigans. We'll be back on Romhack Races next week, and I hope to see you around the Kaizo community on Twitch. Take care of each other. Have a wonderful rest of your night.